This episode of Game Show is supported by Squarespace. Share your passion with the world. They say the clothes make the man, but the power-up makes the Mario. Over the years, the portly plumber has amassed the wardrobe to match any occasion. He has a cape, a raccoon tail, a flying squirrel suit, but don't worry, it's fake squirrel fur. So Mario has all these crazy costumes, but if you ask me, the fire flower and the mushroom are still tops. Call me a traditionalist. The thing about the original power-ups is that they are absolutely pivotal to the game design of Mario. Mario, as we all know, begins life as Little Mario. But when Little Mario gets a mushroom, he grows and becomes Big Mario. This may not seem like much, but it is really important. According to game theorist Raph Koster, a big factor in good game design is that you can confront challenges with different abilities. And the mushroom delivers more abilities than you think, but how so? Well, keep in mind, being short is not always a bad thing in Mario, unless you're trying to get a date with the princess, or Toad for that matter. Little Mario has a lot going for him. At just 16 pixels tall, he's small and agile. He can slip into little crevices and go under low blocks that Big Mario just can't. Like this one. Little Mario can easily slip under here and grab all the coins, but Big Mario is kind of out of luck, unless you do that awkward ducking maneuver where it's really hard to just wedge him underneath. Or, as Anna Anthropy points out, the pyramid level in Mario Land splits into 3 paths, but only the little man can take the low road and go to a room filled with treasure. However, Big Mario is no slouch either. He can break bricks that Little Mario only just bumps his tiny little head on, and this gives him easy access to the higher parts of the level. You can see this all over the place. For instance, in level 1-2, Big Mario can break through the blocks, climb up to the tip top of the screen, and just zip through the level. Or if you want the hidden one up, it's easy for Big Mario to simply take it by breaking the brick one space ahead and collect it when it falls. But if you're Small Mario and you want that one up, you'll have a much more daunting task. You must chase after it from below and make a daring leap to save it from the pit. So as you see, the levels are designed to take into account whether or not Mario is a big man or a little man. And that's pretty cool, because eating a mushroom not only makes Mario big, but opens up tons of possibilities while simultaneously closing off others. This was taken up a notch in later games where you had to make it all the way through the level without losing your power-up to access the secret exits. But isn't there one that we're forgetting? Huh. Oh yeah, that's right, the fire flower. How does it fit into Mario's power-ups master design? Of course, when Mario collects a fire flower, he gets a spiffy white and red outfit and the ability to throw fireballs. Obviously, this determines how you fight the bad guys, but it goes much deeper than you think. The fire flower, the mushroom, and plain Small Mario each gives him a totally unique ability for dealing with conflict. So, how does this work? Well, say Mario is confronted by a Koopa who's bouncing towards him. The power-up he has dictates what he will do. Little Mario's small stature gives him the agility and the quickness to just dash underneath it. But Big Mario is almost too tall to run underneath and will more likely than not get hit, so he'll just jump over it instead. And Fire Mario will probably just say screw it and shoot it with a fireball. Here's what makes this good game design. Again, according to Raph Koster, it's how each of the abilities requires the player to learn a different skill. Little Mario needs to be good at dashing and dodging. Big Mario must know how to time up his jumps with the bouncing Koopas. Fire Mario has to master the art of jumping and shooting fireballs at the same time, which is like texting on a bicycle. Trickier than it looks. Little Mario gets past a bullet bill like this, but Big Mario has to duck or jump, and Fire Mario tries to shoot it, but it doesn't really work. However, Fire Mario has the upper hand when dealing with Spinies. He can easily shoot them, while Little and Big Mario will get hurt if they touch them. Some of the more interesting moments in the game will force you into 3 unique situations depending on how powered up you are. For instance, in the original Super Mario Bros., there's a scene where Mario Mario is faced with 3 Goombas in a tight corridor. Little Mario has no other choice but to run, jump, and bounce on them in sequence to get past. Big Mario, on the other hand, will try breaking the blocks above him so that he has some headroom to properly stomp on them, and Fire Mario will just hang back and shoot them. Though Mario games make it seem effortless, this is advanced game design at work. The bad guys in the levels aren't just made to be difficult, but to give the player multiple ways to play. And as we talked about in our episode on meaningful choice, this gives Super Mario Bros. What's called situational choice, which just might be the most meaningful kind of player choice. As you'll recall, a situational choice is a choice that will seem better or worse depending on your current situation in the game, such as being tall or being short. So, in the boss fight with Bowser, for instance, it's better to stand back and just shoot him if you have Fire Mario, but Big Mario will want to try to go up and over, and Little Mario will simply scurry under Bowser's tiny little feet when he leaps. That means that each time you play the game, even though you're playing the same levels, you're facing different situations. Perhaps that's why Super Mario is still considered a great game 30 years on. But what do you think? What are your favorite examples of games where your abilities really change the way you play? 2 other favorites of mine are BioShock and Dishonored, but you go ahead and hash it out in the comments. Game Show is supported by Squarespace. If there's an idea or project that you're itching to show the world, you should. Squarespace, providing tools that help people showcase their passions with a customizable landing page, website, or online store. They also offer domains, hosting, and customer support. Start your trial today. Visit squarespace.com/gameshow. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. I'll see you next week.